Meet Yilin, a fresh grad drowning in a 7 million yuan debt thanks to his parents' reckless gambling and failed investments. To make matters worse, his beloved grandmother passes away, leaving him completely isolated. Working himself to the bone, the crushing weight of the debt only grows heavier by the day. His ruthless relatives ambush him in his cramped apartment, demanding their money back. They even threaten to smash his grandmother's memorial tablet if he doesn't pay up immediately. Desperate, he begs for just 2 more days to find a way to repay them. Suddenly, a mysterious prompt appears. The reverse wealth system has bound to him. The rules are simple. Spend his own money without expecting a return, and the system reimburses him with a multiplier. He receives a 50,000 yuan starter fund, but faces a daily task to spend 30,000, with a severe penalty for failure. Realizing this system forces him to become a big spender, he bursts into uncontrollable laughter. His relatives think the stress has finally broken his mind and storm out in disgust. Checking his phone, he confirms the 50,000 yuan is real and sitting safely in his account. But a system warning flashes, reminding him of the ticking clock on his daily spending task. With no other choice, he heads to a bustling night market to start burning through the cash. He bumps into his gold-digging ex-girlfriend and her new rich boyfriend, who immediately mock him. Instead of arguing, he grabs a vendor's megaphone, ready to make a grand statement. He boldly announces he's buying all the food at the market for everyone, except his ex and her new guy. The crowd erupts in cheers, happily feasting while his ex watches in stunned silence. He casually pays the vendors, fulfilling his promise to the delighted night market crowd. The system confirms his 50,000 yuan expense and rewards him with a massive 200,000 yuan return. His daily task is complete, but a new challenge appears. Spend 50,000 yuan the next day. Waking up to realize it wasn't a dream, he decides it's time to drastically upgrade his lifestyle. He heads to a high-end boutique, determined to buy clothes that match his new secret wealth. Another customer recognizes him from a viral video of his epic night market stunt. Wanting to avoid a scene, he points to an entire wall of designer clothes and tells the clerk to pack it all. He drops 150,000 yuan and instantly receives 600,000 back, baffled by his growing fortune. Meanwhile, his greedy relative spots the viral video and immediately starts plotting to extort him. Yilin continues his spending spree, but groans when the daily task jumps to a whopping 500,000 yuan. Needing to burn cash fast, he visits a junkyard to buy completely worthless scrap metal. He drops 20,000 yuan on the junk, but the return still isn't enough to complete his massive daily quota. Right on cue, his relatives show up at the junkyard, demanding their money back. Tired of their nagging, he decides to settle his debt with them right then and there. He casually transfers the funds, leaving his relatives utterly speechless at his sudden wealth. The system grants him a 1.5 million return, but categorizes paying off private debts as a low-tier expenditure. He checks his system progress, realizing that mindless spending isn't the most efficient way to level up. He calls his old friend Lindsay, inviting him out to catch up after a long time. Back at his relative's place, they are already scheming to squeeze more money out of him at an upcoming family banquet. They plan to use his grandfather's 80th birthday as the perfect trap to guilt-trip him. The relatives discuss how long he can sustain this new wealth before he goes broke again. Later, Yilin meets Lindsay at a humble local restaurant for dinner. Lindsay is shocked by Yilin's expensive new outfit, urging him to save his money and slowly pay off his debts. They order a modest meal, trying to enjoy a quiet evening together. But a loud, arrogant customer at the next table starts insulting them, calling them deadbeats. Lindsay is ready to fight, but Yilin calms him down, refusing to stoop to their level. Lindsay steps out to take a work call, leaving Yilin to handle the situation his own way. Yilin approaches the owner and offers to buy the entire restaurant, promising to give the profits to the staff. This act of generosity triggers a massive 4x return from the system, netting him over 1 million yuan. When the loud customer tries to mock him again, Yilin promptly kicks him out of his newly acquired restaurant. After dinner, Yilin takes Lindsay to a high-end luxury car dealership just to look around. Lindsay is nervous about being in such an expensive place, but Yilin insists it's fine. As luck would have it, his ex-girlfriend and her rich boyfriend are there, looking to buy a sports car. The dealership manager flatters the rich heir, ensuring him the car is his. The ex-girlfriend spots Yilin and immediately starts insulting him, telling him he's too poor to be there. The rich heir chimes in, mocking Yilin's presence in a place meant for the elite. Lindsay goes to grab some drinks, leaving Yilin to face the snobs alone. Ignoring their taunts, Yilin asks the manager to show him the most expensive car they have. The manager condescendingly points out a limited edition model, clearly doubting Yilin's ability to pay. Without hesitating, Yilin decides to buy it and pays the 1.66 million yuan in full. This colossal purchase maxes out his experience bar, upgrading the system to level 2. He unlocks powerful new perks, including a higher multiplier pool and a special debt exemption feature. He checks out the new rewards, realizing his daily spending limits have just been shattered. The manager eagerly hands over the keys, leaving his ex and the heir completely dumbfounded. Lin Zhe returns with drinks, completely unaware of the massive flex that just occurred. Back in his penthouse, Yilin realizes he needs to hide his growing fortune from prying eyes. He uses his system points to buy a permanent privacy shield for his financial records. Meanwhile, the rich heir has his assistant investigate Yilin, but they find zero trace of his recent massive spending. Yilin officially purchases his luxury apartment and then heads to his grandfather's 80th birthday banquet. At his grandfather's 80th birthday banquet, his relatives mock his cheap gift and demand he pay for the entire feast, unwittingly triggering another highly profitable system task for Yilin. Instead of taking the abuse at his grandfather's banquet, Yilin plays his trump card. But the moment he offers to pay, his reverse wealth system activates a special task. Any unreciprocated spending will now be multiplied by an 8-fold return. Without hesitating, Yilin donates the entire banquet fund to a charitable cause. This brilliant move pockets him a massive hidden profit while the restaurant manager acts. He swiftly downgrades the greedy relative's extravagant feast to basic rations. Leaving his family reeling from the humiliation, Yilin declares he owes them nothing. He retreats to a hotel for some peace, only to wake up to a new system prompt. His daily spending quota is raised to 1.5 million, but there's a bizarre catch. A new bonding mechanism means a random physical contact will tie him to a stranger. Just his luck, he accidentally bumps into a woman at the mall, locking them together. The system mandates he must spend enough money on her to break the binding contract. She assumes it's a cheap pickup tactic and demands to know what he's playing at. Unfazed, Yilin drags her to a nearby cat cafe, determined to spend his way out. He shocks the room by announcing he's funding the city's entire stray cat population. The cafe owner tallies the food, vaccines, and shelter costs to exactly 1.5 million. He swipes his card, instantly breaking the bond and earning a 12 million rebate. Confused but intrigued, the woman leaves her business card as an investment manager. Later, a street vlogger recognizes him as the big spender and insists on filming. When massive cash bribes fail to shoo the persistent guy away, the system intervenes. It issues a new task, forcing Yilin to let the vlogger follow him while he spends $500,000. Yilin leads the guy to an antique market to burn through the required cash quickly. He zeroes in on the most obvious, poorly made fake vase he can find on a table. When the seller asks for 800,000, Yilin cleverly haggles him down to exactly 500,000. This perfectly hits his target, securing another massive payout from his wealth system. However, the live stream viewers now firmly believe he's a completely gullible idiot. Unbeknownst to him, a shadowy figure in a car is monitoring his bizarre spending spree. The next day, his viral fame explodes, bringing unwanted attention and ridiculous offers. His friend bursts in, horrified by the video, determined to fix Yilin's reckless habits. He drags Yilin on a penny-pinching crusade, starting with a crowded, uncomfortable bus ride. They buy cheap rice balls, while Yilin secretly stresses over his daily spending quota. Trapped in a discount clothing store, he's racing against the system's countdown clock. Desperate, he slips away to the manager's office to buy out the entire floor's inventory. He pays 200,000 on the spot, ordering all the clothes to be donated to a mountainous area. The transaction clears just in time, rewarding him with another massive 8-fold multiplier. He reunites with his friend, who proudly calculates their meager daily savings on the street. Stepping outside, Yilin is suddenly swarmed by clout chasers calling him a rich sucker. He ducks into a narrow alley to escape, only to be cornered by a group of hostile thugs. They were sent to teach him a lesson, but the system immediately offers an emergency defense. Just as things look grim, a young woman appears in the alley and tries to intervene. When a thug grabs him, the system's defense kicks in, electrocuting the large attacker. The thugs collapse in a heap, and the woman insists on staying to handle the police report. Soon after, Yilin attends a bizarre fan meetup arranged by the overly eager vlogger. He walks onto the stage, delivers a terse 2-word greeting, and immediately walks off. This strange behavior surprisingly completes a task, unlocking a new warning feature. Backstage, a female investor named Fang Ran approaches him with an enticing business pitch. She asks for a 500,000 injection to revive a struggling project, promising quick returns. Just as he considers it, his new warning system flags the deal as a strict financial trap. The funds would be locked up entirely, completely invalidating his system spending quota. He flatly refuses and leaves, while Fang Ran returns to the mysterious man's luxury car. They realize Yilin somehow saw through their meticulously planned corporate honeypot trap. Realizing he needs help navigating these risks, Yilin pulls out the manager's business card. He calls Wen Jilu, requesting a professional meeting to handle his peculiar financial needs. Sitting in her office, he explains he wants to hire her to systematically waste his money. She finds his spending logic absurd but warns him that blind luck won't last forever. To avoid personal scrutiny, she advises him to establish a legitimate corporate shell company. This entity will serve as a legal, transparent vehicle for his massive, inexplicable expenditures. He agrees instantly, allocating 10 million to let her handle all the complex setup logistics. While movers set up his new luxury apartment, when Jilu calls with a promising update. The company is ready, and she has already lined up a spectacularly terrible investment option. They visit a dilapidated for experience store that has been hemorrhaging money for an entire year. The desperate owner explains the dire situation, making it exactly the disaster Yilin wants. Suddenly, a rival business owner shows up, loudly mocking the failing enterprise to their faces. Unfazed by the taunts, Yilin immediately offers 2 million to take over the sinking ship. To ensure it stays a loss, he drafts a contract demanding compensation if it turns a profit. The system registers the guaranteed failure, instantly granting him a massive 16 million payout. As Yilin leaves satisfied, the bewildered owner stares down at the newly signed documents. She tearfully vows to make the business a success, completely missing his true financial goal. Yilin's empty store hosts a free pop-up event, quickly attracting a massive line of kids. The owner happily promotes the store, while Wen Jilu warns that free events don't bring income. After a rival refuses to rent his space, Wen Jilu informs Yilin that customer numbers have quadrupled. While Wen Jilu investigates his investments, Yilin's system upgrades him to level 3. Browsing the new shop, he spends his points on a permanent peak physique perk. The perk boosts his appearance, and he uses remaining points to clear 2 million in debt. He approaches Wen Jilu, who is surprised by his new look, asking for a new failing project. She confirms she has one, telling him to meet her tomorrow afternoon to see for himself. The next day, Yilin arrives at the location and encounters a stray ginger cat. Later, he receives a message from Wen Jilu showing a viral post praising his new look. He names the cat Lose Money before visiting a rundown, debt-ridden animation studio. Yilin and Wen Jilu arrive, introducing themselves as investors to the exhausted animators. The lead animator, Yang, pitches his experimental short film, explaining the painstaking process. He details their agonizingly slow rendering times and constant, expensive equipment failures. Despite massive financial strain, Yang insists they are persevering, desperate for a breakthrough. Hearing this litany of failure, Yilin casually offers to invest 5 million into the project. The system triggers a special task, offering a 12 times rebate if the money is completely lost. Overjoyed, Yang promises not to let him down, while Yilin happily signs a guarantee. As when Jilu questions his sanity, the system confirms the investment and starts the verification phase. Elsewhere, a wealthy rival named Go is annoyed by news of Yilin's sudden investment. Suspecting Yilin is faking his wealth, Go orders his people to poach the studio's staff. He vows to ruin the project, while back at the studio, the animators try to push forward. Suddenly, an animator hands Yang a resignation letter, having been offered double salary. Yang accepts it gracefully, but the remaining team firmly decides to stay and finish the film. After another rendering fails, Yang confidently states they can now afford to upgrade their equipment. When Jilu brings bad news, an anonymous post from Go has falsely accused them of plagiarism. She relays Yilin's advice, telling Yang to use his raw footage to definitively prove their innocence. Later, Yilin arrives with a lavish feast, casually encouraging the team to keep burning money. The upgraded equipment finally finishes the rendering, and the film is selected for an international festival. At the awards ceremony, Edge unexpectedly wins Best Animated Short Film, thrilling the team. In his speech, Yang tearfully thanks Yilin for his unconventional encouragement to lose money. Watching the broadcast, Yilin smiles until the system warns that the project has gained commercial value. The task fails, and the system imposes a bizarre penalty. Green leaves sprout on Yilin's head. Relieved it's not worse, he tries to pull a leaf off but experiences sharp pain. He screams in frustration, while Go learns that his 10 million spent to ruin the project is gone. The company he hired was a shell, prompting a furious Go to banish his assistant. Back at the studio, Yang toasts Yilin, mistaking the leaves for a dedication to the animation. Yilin plays along, while when Jilu admits the project broke even much faster than expected. Noticing his forced smile, she shifts focus to a new project, Zhaohe Technology. She explains it's a suspicious company with high debt, likely used to siphon investment money. Yilin sees a perfect opportunity to lose money, but she insists on a strict supervision clause. Yilin agrees, while Gu, behind Zhaohe, plans to split the siphoned money with the fake boss. At the meeting, the fake boss presents a bleak financial report, predicting imminent collapse. Yilin demands a more aggressive research strategy to burn money faster, offering 5 million. Wen Jilu warns him again, but the boss eagerly accepts, and Yilin asks for a risk assessment. The system confirms it's a scam with a 12% success rate, so he eagerly signs the contract. After Yilin leaves, Go is furious to learn about the strict fund supervision clause. He orders the money transferred in smaller batches, but learns Wen Jilu is already auditing patents. She identifies a highly advanced dynamic lighting algorithm that failed due to hardware limitations. Ignoring protests, Yilin orders them to upgrade equipment and hire expensive engineers to make it work. Listening in, Go realizes this will burn the money faster and tells the boss to comply. Later, Go is frustrated that Yilin is genuinely funding research instead of letting them siphon it. He orders his men to watch Wen Jilu, who reports the algorithm could increase efficiency by 40%. Suspecting its true worth, she recruits a prominent professor as a technical consultant. Dismayed by the high salary, Yilin realizes costs are soaring, but Wen Jilu assures him it won't last. The project makes rapid progress, leading Yilin to reluctantly tell them to keep burning money. Meanwhile, a major tech company notices the algorithm and decides to contact Yilin's team. When Jilu informs Yilin they offered 20 million, but he desperately refuses to sell. She warns Go might force a sale, revealing the professor initiated contact out of desperation. Faced with the team being fired, Yilin reluctantly agrees to sell, provided the team stays on. He storms off, while an enraged Go learns his shares have been diluted and he gets nothing. His companion mocks his repeated failures against Yilin and, tired of his obsession, leaves him. At the signing ceremony, the tech company agrees to Yilin's terms, and he finalizes the sale. Back in his office, Yilin sighs, while Wen Jilu points out he inadvertently funds passionate people. Just then, a notification confirms the intercepted funds have reached a criminal threshold. An enraged Go confronts his boss, only to find security guards waiting after Wen Jilu reported them. Later, Wen Jilu relays a message from the professor, tearfully thanking Yilin for his pure investment. Left alone, Yilin begs the system for help, only to receive a new task to spend 20 million. With a new task to spend 20 million on experiential consumption within 24 hours, Yilin is presented with a random multiplier mechanic that could heavily alter his progress. He immediately heads to a bustling amusement park, accompanied by his streamer friend Gao, intent on burning as much cash as possible. Brushing off the VIP lane, he decides to experience the park as a normal tourist, though his spending habits remain anything but ordinary. To maximize his spending, Yilin decides to rent out the entire park for the day, footing the bill for every single visitor. The extravagant move costs him 9.6 million, but a stroke of bad luck lands him a mere 1x multiplier from the system. Unfazed by the setback, Yilin joins Go on a roller coaster, while the park's guests rejoice at his absurd generosity. Finding the standard ride entirely too tame, he remains perfectly stoic while Go screams in terror. He requests to crank the machine to its absolute limit, happily paying extra to unlock the ride's most extreme mode. However, the ensuing loop proves too much for his stomach to handle, leaving Yilin vomiting in the bushes and regretting his choices. Still needing to clear the remaining balance of his task, he calls in an order to buy out every single dessert stall in the park. This time, his 1.2 million spend triggers a 3x multiplier, instantly adding a massive 3.6 million to his progress. As free treats are announced across the venue, Go happily presents him with a gigantic, rainbow-colored cotton candy. With his stomach still churning from the roller coaster, Yilin flatly refuses the sugary monstrosity. Wandering further into the park, they stumble upon a horse riding club, where a newly imported purebred warm blood is up for sale. Without a moment's hesitation or a single negotiation, Yilin agrees to the exorbitant 5 million price tag. His reckless purchase triggers a massive 5x multiplier, instantly clearing his 20 million task and securing his position. He ironically names his expensive new pet Fu Weng, hoping the horse's lavish upkeep will become a constant drain on his finances. Meanwhile, Yilin's sharp-eyed assistant meets with a woman named Fang Ran, who seems overly curious about his investment strategies. Fang Ran probes deeply into whether Yilin's erratic, money-losing decisions are his own or orchestrated by someone else. Sensing a trap, the assistant ends the meeting early, refusing to give away any concrete information. She immediately looks into Fang Ran's background, uncovering her connection to a consulting firm that has already been deregistered. Reporting back to Yi Lin, she reveals that the supposedly independent investor is actually tied to a larger, shadowy entity. They notice Fang Ran's business card features a strange code, linking her directly to the defunct consulting firm. Yi Lin connects this to an anonymous text he received, realizing these events are a coordinated effort from multiple angles. They deduce that Jingxiang Capital is actively trying to gauge his boundaries and figure out how easily he can be manipulated. Refusing to be intimidated, Yi Lin decides to play along, determined to use their own game to lose even more money. He hands his assistant an office key, officially tasking her with uncovering Jingxiang's true operational blueprint. Later, the duo attends a high society gala, silently tracking the movements of Jingxiang Capital's representative, Shen. Shen is poised to announce a major technological acquisition, and the assistant suggests they hit the dance floor to close the distance unobtrusively. Lacking actual ballroom experience, Yi Lin uses his system points to instantly master the necessary dancing skills. As they waltz, the assistant explains that Jingxiang has forcefully acquired a 60% stake in a groundbreaking recycling tech firm. Jingxiang intends to dismantle the core patent for quick profits, completely freezing out the original creator, Zhao. Learning the technology requires endless, unprofitable funding to maintain. Yi Lin sees it as the perfect financial black hole. Shen takes the stage, delivering a boastful speech about the power of immense capital to drive technological innovation. While Shen subtly mocks independent investors as clueless laymen, Yi Lin quietly slips away from the crowd. He intercepts the heartbroken researcher, Zhao, who admits Jingxiang is about to enslave his entire R&D team. Yi Lin lays his cards on the table, declaring his sole intention is to throw money into a bottomless pit of research without expecting a return. He outlines 3 unbelievable terms. He will cover all costs, demand no halts in R&D, and absolutely refuse any share of the profits. Shocked, but desperate to save his life's work from being butchered, Zhao agrees to Yi Lin's bizarre terms on the spot. The assistant quickly outlines a legal maneuver to transfer Zhao's intellectual property into a brand new, independent company. In a private boardroom, Shen confidently presses Zhao to finalize their exploitative contract and hand over the remaining rights. Yi Lin makes a dramatic entrance, throwing Shen's earlier arrogant words about capital right back at him. He publicly exposes Jingxiang's true intention to dismantle the technology and destroy years of dedicated hard work. Yi Lin drops the bombshell that Zhao's patents are already legally shielded under a new venture, completely out of Jingxiang's reach. Shen is left fuming and humiliated in front of the press as Yi Lin's team walks out with the ultimate prize. Back at the office, the assistant finalizes the corporate structure, officially securing Zhao's tech shares under Linyan Technology. She identifies 3 struggling recycling plants that desperately need the technology but are drowning in debt and poor management. Yi Lin immediately instructs her to license the technology to all 3 plants completely free of charge. The assistant is baffled by his total disregard for generating revenue, but Yi Lin insists that burning money is the only objective. Word of Yi Lin's philanthropic sabotage quickly reaches Shen's camp, putting them on high alert regarding his next moves. Before visiting the first struggling factory, Yi Lin cashes in 800 system points for a business insight skill to scan for potential traps. He arrives at the dilapidated facility, where the weary director laments Jingxiang's vicious stranglehold on the local supply chain. Yi Lin offers the groundbreaking technology for free, provided they promise never to sell it to Jingxiang. As the director eagerly reviews the terms, the system flashes a warning about the factory's hidden ties to Jingxiang's network. Suddenly, the director's demeanor shifts, and he begins to aggressively question Yi Lin's true motives for such a generous offer. His workers surround Yi Lin, accusing him of being another corporate vulture trying to steal their remaining assets under the guise of charity. Unflappable, Yi Lin immediately drafts a supplementary clause, taking on full financial liability if the technology fails to produce results. Stunned by a contract that offers all the upside and none of the financial risk, the director shakes on the deal. With the deal secured, Yi Lin sets his friend Go up in a lavish apartment, though Go remains highly suspicious of his newfound wealth. Go reveals he brought over boxes of old corporate documents he saved from the shredder at his previous job, hoping to be helpful. Sifting through the supposedly useless paperwork, a specific, highly confidential clause catches Yi Lin's eye. The document exposes Jingxiang's malicious strategy to hoard patents and strictly forbid any third-party use. Jingxiang isn't just buying technology. They are deliberately burying it to maintain their absolute market monopoly and crush innovation. The assistant confirms that this core document unravels Jingxiang's entire predatory playbook, exposing their vulnerabilities. Before they can formulate a counterattack, Yi Lin receives an urgent email notifying him of a terminated partnership. More calls come in as Jingxiang initiates a full-scale capital blockade, forcing all partners to sever ties. The assistant confirms they are systematically cutting off his offline channels to suffocate his new venture. Back in his boardroom, a furious Shen prepares to escalate the corporate war against Yilin. The pressure from Jingxiang Capital is suffocating. Their executives make it clear to factory owners, side with Yilin and you become the enemy of the entire industry. But Yilin's countermove is already in motion. His team delivers the core recycling technology for free, and its compatibility is staggering. With just minor adjustments, the factories can dramatically boost their production without costly overhauls. Realizing Jingxiang's threats are empty compared to tangible results, the manager makes a choice. When Yilin arrives, he seals the deal with a bold promise. He will personally absorb any financial losses if the technology fails. He takes on all the risk, leaving the factories with nothing to lose. This fearless approach wins them over instantly, securing their loyalty. Watching from her high-rise office, Jingxiang's chief strategist acknowledges Yilin's unorthodox tactics. His willingness to weaponize his own capital has shattered their conventional blockade. She immediately orders a complete monitoring of his every move. Meanwhile, the human cost of this corporate war becomes starkly real. A young researcher watches helplessly as his grandmother's rare disease worsens, only to learn that the specialized research center is shutting down due to severed funding. Empowered by an increased daily spending limit, Yilin steps in to save the struggling facility. The center's director is deeply cynical, having dealt with empty promises before. She sarcastically quotes the exorbitant market price for their equipment to scare him off. Unfazed, Yilin asks for the total cost to revive the entire district. When she states a daunting 35 million, he instantly transfers a 5 million down payment without blinking. This massive expenditure triggers a massive system reward, elevating his status. With a flick of his wrist, Yilin establishes a public welfare foundation, automating his chaotic spending into a structured philanthropic machine. His first major initiative is to open source the rare metal extraction technology. This move directly targets Jingxiang's monopoly on raw materials. A monopoly which has been artificially inflating medical costs and burdening patients. The original inventor of the tech is moved by Yilin's commitment to public welfare over profit. To bypass slow, traditional channels and avoid industry suppression, Yilin takes the technology straight to the public via a live stream. The broadcast is a direct strike against the blockade, making the vital information accessible to anyone, anywhere. The public response is explosive, but Jingxiang's chief sees an opening. She decides to manipulate the narrative, quietly stoking online controversies, aiming to cast doubt on Yilin's sudden philanthropic pivot and poison his public image. As the smear campaign gains traction, labeling his charity as a money laundering scheme, Yilin's friends urge him not to fight this battle alone. But Yilin has a trump card. He uses his system to instantly wipe out his remaining millions in personal debt, turning a major vulnerability into dust. He then publishes his complete, verified donation records for the entire internet to see. The transparent move instantly turns the tide of public opinion, crushing the manufactured outrage. But the Jingxiang chief notices a chilling detail in his financial records. His spending follows an impossibly rigid, daily pattern. Deducing he is bound by a strict quota, she devises a new strategy: cut off his ability to spend money entirely. Her plan is put to the test during a simple dinner. When Yilin tries to pay the bill, his card is declined. His assistant quickly discovers that their corporate accounts have been frozen by an external system review. With the clock ticking on his daily task, Yilin is trapped. Just as time runs out, his system detects the obstruction and offers a lifeline, a delayed settlement privilege. He activates it, bridging the gap and forcing the transaction through, successfully completing his daily quota. Back at Jingxiang, the chief is stunned to find her access revoked. Her financial block has been dismantled by an untraceable authority. Digging into their own foundation's data, Yilin's assistant uncovers a bizarre anomaly. Funds are being systematically siphoned into entities linked to Jingxiang. However, they realize these funds are actually flowing into medical research projects that Jingxiang abandoned. The old monopoly's broken structure is inadvertently funneling money straight into Yilin's public welfare ecosystem. Emboldened, Yilin targets a struggling seawater desalination project. The lead researcher warns him of the massive financial risks and the need for a 20 million injection just to survive. Instead, Yilin throws down 50 million, declaring that he actively wants to lose money. His only condition is that all resulting technology must be shared freely with the public. This colossal investment triggers an unprecedented system reward, propelling him to the rank of Master of Prodigals. It unlocks powerful research acceleration tools, which he immediately applies to his new projects. The impact of his open-source empire is undeniable. Jinxiang's own core medical research team, suffocated by their employer's restrictions, defects to join Yilin's initiative. With desalination plants deploying and new energy projects aligning with his tech, Yilin is rapidly building an unstoppable ecosystem. Pushed to the brink, the Jinxiang chief executes her final protocol. A total, industry-wide compliance lockdown, effectively blacklisting Yilin from every major supply chain. As the news hits, Yilin reminds his panicked assistant of the 3 obsolete, isolated factories he had previously purchased. These forgotten assets are now their only lifeline to bypass the total blockade, just as Jinxiang announces a massive industry acquisition conference to seal their monopoly. Despite lacking any profit advantage, Yilin decides to push forward with the bidding conference. He plans to intentionally incur massive financial losses just to disrupt Jinxiang's monopoly. Huan Yin observes Lin Yan's aggressive use of off-grid factories, confident she can crush their tactics. Meanwhile, Yilin orders his team to ramp up spending across all projects as his system quota rapidly inflates. Suddenly, Jinxiang launches a coordinated legal strike, filing mass patent infringement lawsuits against Lin Yan. The attack targets their new energy and medical lines to force a shutdown of their open-source technology. Realizing conventional legal defense is useless against a move meant only to paralyze them, Yilin uses his system to purchase a global patent override, instantly neutralizing the lawsuits. This impossible maneuver leaves Huan Yin stunned, confirming her suspicion that Yilin possesses a reality-bending power. Later, while visiting a hospitalized friend, Yilin receives another urgent report from his assistant. Jinxiang has initiated a total blockade on their medical supply chain, cutting off all sales channels. This move threatens to strip low-cost treatments from countless ordinary patients, infuriating Yilin. Refusing to let ordinary people become collateral damage, he activates a global ban immunity protocol. With the bidding conference fast approaching, the team finalizes their asset and participation data. Back at Jinxiang, Huan Yin concludes that Yilin's anomalous power is diametrically opposed to her own rule system. Unfazed by the ongoing war, Yilin casually recruits a recently laid-off acquaintance to join Lin Yan. But the moment of peace is shattered by news that all enterprises using their tech are being indiscriminately throttled. Tracing the frozen funds, Yilin's assistant discovers the money is vanishing into an untraceable encrypted port. Digging into his system's underlying code, Yilin uncovers a chilling truth about their respective powers. He confirms that the encrypted port belongs to an opposing system that shares the same root structure as his own. Analyzing the financial flow, they realize every loss Lin Yan incurs is automatically siphoned to feed Jinxiang's system. Yilin realizes that from the very beginning, they have been playing entirely within Huan Yin's established rules. Capitalizing on this, Huan Yin intensifies her pressure, aiming to extract even more wealth as Yilin expands. Jinxiang mercilessly squeezes Lin Yan's partner networks, forcing a massive industry-wide freeze. Using safety audits as a weapon, they mandate a 180-day work stoppage across all collaborative projects. A coordinated smear campaign then attacks the safety of Lin Yan's medical tech to destroy public trust. With production lines halted, Yilin orders an emergency reorganization of their compliance materials. Despite the staggering financial hemorrhage, he vows to fully compensate all affected partners out of his own pocket. He refuses to let those who trusted him bear the brunt of a war designed to drain his wealth. Watching Lin Yan's losses skyrocket, Huan Yin coldly anticipates Yilin's breaking point at tomorrow's conference. That night, as Yilin waits for his system upgrade, a critical ultimate task appears. The system demands he voluntarily donate all his private assets and properties to the public sector. The sheer magnitude of the demand stuns him, forcing him to reflect on his past life in poverty. He remembers the desperate days of begging for money to save his grandmother, a life he swore never to return to. The thought of losing everything and crawling back into the mud fills him with deep hesitation. But remembering the people who now rely on the inclusive ecosystem he built, his resolve hardens. Unwilling to let the order he established collapse, Yilin accepts the massive risk and agrees to donate everything. The next morning, the highly anticipated bidding conference is about to begin, but the atmosphere is incredibly tense. With just 15 minutes left on the clock, rumors swirl that Lin Yan has gone bankrupt and fled. A reporter broadcasts the unprecedented situation. Both Yilin and Huan Yin are absent from the crucial event. Huan Yin's assistant desperately tries to reach her, sensing a catastrophic variable has derailed their plans. At the last possible moment, Yilin strides into the conference hall, calm and collected. He brushes off his assistant's frantic concerns about the crisis, casually claiming he simply overslept. But before the bidding can commence, Breaking news sends shockwaves through the entire room. Jinxiang Group's global assets have been instantaneously and completely wiped out to zero. The invincible corporate giant has been annihilated overnight, leaving everyone in absolute disbelief. Flashbacks reveal the true nature of the system's test. Yilin's selfless choice to donate triggered a massive upgrade. By passing the ultimate trial, his wealth didn't vanish. It evolved his system to level 6. He unlocks supreme privileges, ensuring his inclusive tech remains forever open and immune to monopolistic control. Browsing his newly unlocked powers, Yilin realizes the profound weight of the choice he made the night before. He sees reality-altering items like time-space rewind, cementing his status as the reverse god of wealth. Had he refused the task out of greed, he would have faced the same devastating fate as Huan Yin. Her refusal to relinquish her assets triggered her system's failure state, forcibly liquidating her entire empire. Back in the present, Yilin receives a prompt allowing him to dictate a penalty for the defeated host. Recognizing her system as nothing more than a trap for the obsessed, Huan Yin accepts her liquidation documents. She realizes her illusion of control was a lie and dismisses her assistant to face the fallout alone. The system's punishment strips her of her empire, leaving her with a meager survival fund and strict earning quotas. She can only laugh bitterly at the irony of being forced to labor under the very rules she once exploited. Sometime later, Yilin and his team enjoy a well-deserved vacation on a pristine, sun-drenched beach. Yet, despite having achieved his goal of a fully open-source industry, Yilin finds no joy in idle wealth. His peaceful retreat is abruptly interrupted when his system issues a brand-new, high-stakes daily spending mandate. Faced with a grueling new quota of 300 million within 24 hours, Yilin reacts in comedic despair.